Good morning or afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me. My name is Martin Bedouret. I'm an engineer, an AAC user, and the CEO and co-founder of Cboard. I live in Cordoba, Argentina, and I have been living with ALS for nearly 10 years.
Wow.
When you are diagnosed with a disease like mine, at first everything seems to shrink into loss. You lose abilities, you lose spontaneity, you lose independence, you lose a way of moving through the world that you had taken for granted your entire life. And of course, one of the hardest losses is speech. Because speaking is not just about producing words. Speaking is about participating. It is about interrupting. It is about joking. It is about arguing. It is about teaching. It is about comforting. It is about leading. It is about being present in real time in other people's lives. So when I first began to need augmentative and alternative communication, I thought I was simply looking for a tool that would allow me to keep communicating. But over time, I understood that AAC gave me much more than that. It did not just help me communicate. It gave me a purpose, and that changed my life completely. For me, AAC was not only an assistive technology. It became the meeting point between my new reality and my profession. It became the bridge between the person I had been before, an engineer, someone who worked in technology, someone who built teams, someone who liked solving problems, and the person I was becoming. It allowed me to bring those two parts of myself together. On one side, my lived experience as someone losing speech. On the other, my instinct to build, to create, and to solve real problems. Out of that intersection, Cboard was born. And that was deeply transformative for me, because suddenly AAC was no longer just a response to a personal limitation. It became a mission. We began building Cboard around a very simple but powerful idea. Communication should never be a privilege. A person should not be able to express themselves only if they were born in the right country, speak the right language, have enough money, or happen to meet the right professional. We wanted to build something open, accessible, multilingual, and flexible, something that could help people in many different contexts find a way to express themselves. And what is most remarkable is that this journey, which began in a very personal place, ended up opening the world to me. Through AAC and through Cboard, I was able to work with UNICEF in more than 10 countries. I was able to see that what we were building could reach very different communities, schools, families, children, and adults who might otherwise never have had access to a communication tool. It allowed me to build an incredible team, people committed not only to building technology, but to building technology with meaning. A team that shares a very deep belief that behind every communication tool, there is a person trying to be more present in the world. It allowed me to work with Microsoft to develop new AAC tools powered by artificial intelligence, opening the door to something that matters deeply to me today. Not only access to communication, but also the speed and fluency of communication. It allowed me to travel, to meet extraordinary people, to participate in events, and to have conversations I never imagined I would have. It brought recognition from the media, from institutions, and from government. But more important than any of that, it gave me the feeling that my life had not become smaller. It had been transformed. And I think that is something very important to say in a space like this. Very often, when people talk about AAC, they present it only as a tool for compensating for difficulty. And yes, of course it is that. But for me, it became much more. AAC did not just help me say things. It helped me rebuild a meaningful life. It helped me continue being an engineer, but in a new way. It helped me continue working, but with a much deeper sense of purpose. It helped me connect my pain to something useful for others. It helped me turn loss into mission. And along that path, I also came to understand something else. Access to communication is essential, but it is not enough. Because even when a person already has AAC, another barrier still remains: the speed of real life. Conversations move quickly. Meetings move quickly. School moves quickly. Family life moves quickly. Jokes move quickly. Opportunities move quickly. And when your communication always arrives a few seconds late, you may not be excluded in an obvious way, but you do begin to fall outside the rhythm of the world. That is something I live every day. And that experience pushed us to keep building. If Cboard was born to address the problem of access, then Cfluent is being built to address the problem of real-time participation. Because for an AAC user, the question is often not only, can I say this? It is also, can I say it in time? Can I answer before the topic changes? Can I make a spontaneous comment? Can I react in the moment? Can I participate while the conversation is still alive? That is what we are trying to do with Cfluent. Not to replace the user's voice, not to let a machine speak for us, but to reduce the friction between thought and expression, so participation can become more natural, faster, and more human. Now, I will show you this in action, so you can see this as a reality and not just an idea. I'm going to say some personal questions about me, and Cfluent will help me to answer by giving me suggestions. As the system knows me very well, the suggestions should be really accurate. Let's try it. Hey Martin, what is your family made up of? Hey Martin, what is your family made up of?
My family is made up of my wife Monica and my two daughters, Geraldine and Ernestina.
And tell me, what are your hobbies and interests? And tell me, what are your hobbies and interests?
I'm passionate about open source software and its potential to empower individuals and communities.
Do you have any medical conditions or disabilities? Do you have any medical conditions or disabilities?
Yes, I was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, on March 31st, 2016.
And for me, that also comes directly from my own story. Because I do not build these tools from the outside. I do not think about them only as an engineer or an entrepreneur. I think about them as someone who knows, in my own body, what it means to have something to say and arrive too late. As someone who knows that communication is not only language, it is presence, identity, dignity, and connection. So when I look at what AAC has done in my life, I do not think only of an app or a synthetic voice. I think of something much bigger. I think of the fact that it allowed me to imagine a future again. It allowed me to build again. It allowed me to turn an incredibly hard experience into something fertile. It allowed me to help other people. It allowed me to work with global organizations. It allowed me to create a team. It allowed me to keep growing. It allowed me to dream again. And I think that is the most important idea I want to leave with you today. AAC does not only help a person communicate needs. It helps a person continue being someone in the deepest sense of the word. It helps them work. It helps them love. It helps them choose. It helps them participate. It helps them create. It helps them have a future. In my case, AAC did not just give me a way to communicate. It gave me a company. It gave me a mission. It gave me a community. It gave me a team. It gave me a path. And in some way, it gave me a new and better version of my own life. So if I had to summarize what AAC has meant to me, I would say this. AAC did not simply give me back a voice. It gave me back a purpose. And from that purpose came Cboard, Cfluent, and all the work we do today so that other people can express themselves more easily, more independently, and with more dignity. Thank you very much.